Okay.
Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Miklós György. I am from Romania and I am a psychologist and ABA therapist also and solution focused therapy practitioner also. And hi. And today's topic, I'm glad Kati asked me to participate with the workshop. And I was thinking about how is the life being undercover in a problem-focused society,
Yeah.
especially in my area, my town, and the surroundings. So I have only one slide for presentation. It's a single slide presentation. I learned this from Hazen Moon. So, but I think we won't need more. And I have Andrew Gibson here, my co-host, and he will help me with technical issues. And he also is my online bodyguard. So at any moment, if you want to throw at me with tomatoes or something, he will catch all of it. And so being solution focused and undercover. Is there somebody here who is undercover, problem focused person who wants to reveal himself, blow his cover, maybe? So, no, everybody is undercover today.
I used to be undercover. I don't know. Will that count? I'm not undercover anymore. I used to be.
Oh, great. Great. I started to be undercover when I started in 2019 to practice solution focused approaches. And I realized that nobody wants it. Everybody was problem focused. And I had to go undercover. I had two options. I also have trainings, and unfortunately, none of my students could resist in a problem-focused community. I had teachers in my at my trainings. After the training, they started to use solution-focused approach, uh, different methods, and it was working in the school. Then the other teachers came and told them that if you are continuing using some strange methods, we are not going to go with for a coffee with you, not going to smoke with you cigarette, or not going to salute you in the school. And the teachers called me that Miklós, how should I work in this environment for 20, 30 years? They don't want to salute me because my class is getting better and better in everything, but only in my classes. So I had no idea, and they said, "Okay, I better stop using solution-focused approaches because." I cannot support to be alone in the school. And I never could understand why cannot someone drink his coffee by himself or smoke a cigarette alone. So even though I cannot understand why isn't this possible. So they quit using this method, but it's very needed, especially in a problem-focused community. Hi, everyone who joined us lately. So, welcome. So, I will share you a picture, but after I will send it to you. So, no need to take pictures. I will send it to you because later we are going to use it. I will tell you some things about the principles I use as undercover solution-focused warrior. And let's see how can you use these principles or some of them in your own life. These principles are based on uh, the Bushido code, the code of samurai warriors. I used to be a martial art teacher, so this was the basic for me. And I developed a more solution-focused version of it. And I also will tell you how it began. I will share you. Okay, can you see it? Can everybody see the shared
Yes.
picture? Okay, so here you have the seven virtues of Bushido or samurai warriors. They lived after these codes like integrity, respect, courage, honor, compassion, honesty, duty, and loyalty. And you will find each of these in every other principle I developed. Uh, Maybe you know some of them. Uh, Actually, the fifth one was the first. And then I started to think, how did I reach this? What do I need to not leave men behind? Actually, this is the creed, the motto of U.S. Navy SEALs. And I will also share you a recording workshop about this. So if you are interested about more about this, you can find it in the other workshop I will share with you. But about the first one, be curious. In solution-focused approaches, we know we have to be curious. This is something basic. But the way I realized this, that the power of being curious, it's a really bit, it's a long journey and tough lesson because I used to be homeless after I was teaching. I was living on the streets. And one evening, when I couldn't find any food, I was looking in trash cans. And between flats, I found something. But I also met another homeless man. And I discovered later that he used to be a teacher also. And he was alcoholic. And I became curious, why is that he's protecting that bottle of beer, appreciate it more than his own life. And because my father was alcoholic also, I became curious and I started to talk with him and ask him about uh, what does he like to do and about his skills. And at the beginning, he was very strange. First of all, because I told him that I don't drink alcohol. So this was strange, living on the street, not drinking alcohol, especially in winter when it's freezing outside. It was very strange for him. I will stop sharing to see you. So we started to talk, and after less than 2 weeks, they gathered the team. They were saying that, look, there is a psychologist. I was my last year in college, last year of psychology, and I had exams coming, so I had to learn also in freezing in winter. And I became famous in less than 2 weeks on the streets that come with us because there is a psychologist. He's one of us. He's homeless, and he listens to you, and you can tell him everything you like. And he uh, ask you about some memories, good memories, and what did you like to do. And I had no solution focused training back then, but they liked the idea of speaking of themselves as a human being. And after 2 weeks, uh, they started to drink less. And there was a five question with five answers. You always, I already, not already, I will share it with you, another workshop. The first question was, what are we? And the response was, we are very poor persons. And we started with this. And why? Because we have courage, what we do. And every day we were talking about this, talking about my days as a teacher. And after 2 weeks, they started to drink less because they realized if they drink more, they they are not able to talk with me in the evenings. So, because I was asking them about their skills, what are you good at? Tell me more about yourself. Because I learned from some homeless people that how should be as a good therapist. I mean, working with the person behind the diagnosis. So I learned this not in the university. I learned this on the streets while being hungry and from other homeless people. How important it is to uh, know the other person and not the his appearance or his diagnosis. And they also liked this idea. So after 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, I was very famous in the town, and everybody was wanted to talk with me for hours and hours. Even some of them, because they drink less, they managed to save some money, and sometimes they bought me food in order because sometimes I had no experience, so it was very hard for me to find food in the trash cans because I didn't know the town. But they taught me how to survive uh, on the streets, and they taught me this very very good lesson that I have to know the person first, then to work with the diagnosis. And this is a lesson I will never forget. And it was very hard for me that period. I also had to learn for the college for the exams. And the reason I had to stay on the street, this was the second reason because if I was living about 400 kilometers from that city, and if I go home, I lose everything, and I cannot finish college. And I wanted to become a psychologist, and quitting was not an option for me. As a samurai warrior, also, quitting is not an option. And this was the second reason. I will tell you the first one later. And so I had no money and I had to survive on the streets and finishing college also. So about the second one is be aware that your team, but their choice. There is a saying that when the student is ready, the master appears. So what does it mean? Uh, it means that I believe that the clients I'm working with, they are chosen me for a reason. Uh, that I am the right person to help them one way or another. So I don't believe in coincidences. So even if when I was a teacher, I believe that no matter how difficult was that child, he's still my student. And if our path crossed each other, it means that he is ready to learn from me, and I have to be ready to learn from him. So no reason to run away from responsibilities. About always look for good intentions. I believe that there is no such thing as bad intention. Bad is the opposite of good. But still, even if in a solution focused approach, I think a bad intention does not exist. Because if we look, every behavior has a good intention. If a child, if he's skipping school, I have to find his good intention. Then I can help him to learn a skill. And even I'm working mostly with people with disabilities and autism, for example. And this is the main method I use. I'm looking for good intentions always. The child is not speaking, not looking in my eyes. What is his good intentions? And if I find these good intentions, I will know how to develop a personalized therapy program for him in order to learn this skill. To look at me, for example, or stay in one place, or whatever. So always look for good intention because bad intention does not exist. No matter if we are talking about abuse or a crime or something, this is not justification, but still we have to look about good intentions. Uh, the fourth one, in a team, everybody is a student, but also a teacher. I always say that as a teacher, former teacher, that first of all, I have to learn from my students in order to be able to teach them. So uh, I have to be a student first of my students, then to teach them. And when the teacher are coming to me and saying that you should go somewhere when the sun doesn't shine and use your solution focus hocus pocus with them because they have 10, 20, or 30 years experience. uh, I am always thinking that experience in what? You can have work experience, but in teaching, educating, it's impossible to have more than 4 years experience because every 4 years, your students, the cycle is changing. You will teach the same things maybe, but you will have to adapt your methods. So if you're not adapting your methods to your students, then how can you have experience? You have work experience. For 20 years, I sit in this chair and I am writing on the board, and everybody copies it and learns it. This is not education. And there was a very interesting experience I had when I was teaching. In the second year, in the first year, I had some very good accomplishments. As you will see in the recording, I will send it to you if you're curious. And at the beginning of second year, one of the students, I think sixth grade, came to me and asked me, "Teacher, how did you know that we are capable of so many good things last year?" And I told him, because I am a teacher, and every teacher has magical powers. When we look at you, we see things that you cannot see. And after 2 days, I had no classes for 2 days. Then one of the head of the teachers came to me that one of the teachers ran out of the classroom and she was screaming, the children are evil and they are possessed and they are crazy. They had no idea what happened to them. Then the other teachers told him that you should go to teacher Miklós and ask him. Probably he uh, taught them again something about samurais or Shaolin monks or something. So something strange uh, happened, but they are not possessed. Don't worry, they are not crazy. So she came to me and I explained what happened. What did I say to the student? And the student told to everybody. And the next day, sorry, the one of the classroom, I think in the sixth uh, class, they entered the class. They went to the teacher and they showed them, teacher, look into my eyes, and the other one, but look carefully, look. What do you see? Look. And every student, 20, 30 student, and she got scared. Whoa, they are possessed. I have to look in their eyes. Why? Oh my God. And I told that teacher that, okay, that means that they are ready to listen to you and to learn from you. So discover their skills, their how to teach them because now they are ready. And I had right because the students started to go to school. They had different methods to show the teachers that we are ready to listen to you. In another classroom, they entered, and I was teaching them martial art also, and they were bowing like Japanese samurai warriors, and they didn't sit down until the teacher didn't salute them the same way. And this was the sign of a respect. Okay, teacher, we respect you, and you. Can you show us respect? And if yes, the students did everything the teacher asked, doing lessons, writing homeworks, everything. So when the teachers are telling me that they have 30 years experience, okay, how many eyes did you see this way? Because this is a skill that I also learned. We have to learn. Just because you have a child, you make a child, it doesn't make you parent. Just because you have a degree in education, it doesn't mean you're a teacher. So when a client comes to me, I have a waiting list, and sometimes they are waiting because they hear about me and my solution focus, hocus pocus, as they are saying in my area. And I asked them, why did you waited? Why did you came to me? And they are saying that because I hear that you have a lot of experience. And I always say to the parents that yes, but not with your child. I might have experience, but not with your child. So every child comes to me. I imagine that I am a beginner, and I uh, do my training again and again and again because I cannot work with children in a robotic way. Every child is different. Every generation is different. So if in 30 years I do the same thing, I mean nothing, then how can I have the experience? So everybody can argue with me, but this is how I work, that I cannot have more than 4 years experience as a teacher. For me, it's impossible. So, and about the fifth one, do not leave men behind. This is very, very deep because this is also the motto, the creed of US Navy SEALs. And this became the motto of the school when I was working. And I said that it's very important when you work in a team, even if your own family, you should add, we do not leave men behind, because this is a teamwork. So we do not leave men behind. And this way, this school, after 3 years, was integrated in a um, public school system. They were dangerous. They said they were dangerous students. They were coming from ghettos, and most of them wanted to become drug dealers. So, in order to stop them being drug dealer or having seeing what is inside them, they followed these principles. But in every classroom, every hour I went, it was very interesting. I was preparing myself different in a different way. For example, when I had a rough day, or I was preparing to enter in a classroom where they were nobody wanted to work with them, I was saying all morning to myself. It's also a motto of the U.S. Navy SEALs that the only easy day was yesterday. And I went to the school like this. The only easy day was yesterday. The only easy day was yesterday. And I was saying for minutes this for me. And this is, they are saying, the Navy SEALs, this to encourage themselves to embrace challenges, because challenges are facilitating the growth. So this was a positive, this was a motivation for the Navy SEALs. And I used it for myself. To another class, I was singing a song or doing something else. I had different routines for every classroom, because every classroom was different, and I had to prepare myself in a different way. So I was singing, I was thinking about a movie I saw and about a scene, and how can I use this today uh, uh, at my class? And maybe you are familiar with the circle technique of Arnold Huibers. Is somebody who is not familiar? You can find it on the internet, circle technique. And I use this especially with families with a lot of aggression, and sometimes child to parent abuse, or uh, gaming addiction, who is also with child to parent abuse included. And the difference is that in the circle technique I use it with the whole family. So it's not for each person. So the whole family enters in the same circle. And my aim is to find out what in the first circle I draw, what is important to them. Uh, what motivates them? What is that they like? Maybe sometimes a movie, sometimes what happened recently that they enjoyed. Uh, listening to music, playing to the laptop, or anything. And in the second, so the mother, the father, and the child tells one of the happenings, uh, what is important to him, and I wrote it in the first circle. Then in the second circle, uh, I asked them, what is this telling about yourself? So, for example, father told me that he likes Rocky movies, and his favorite scene is when I also like the Rocky movies. When Apollo Creed dies and Rocky prepares to fight with a Russian, and there is a song that No Easy Way Out, and he likes that song, that saying that no easy way out. Then the mother told me that he was watching a serial, a telenovela, something, and he likes it because two people are very in love, but nobody agrees and they want to separate them. And I found out that this was also their story because nobody agreed her to marry her husband. Their families were against it. So I asked her, "What does this tell you about yourself?" And she told me something that I can make my own decision, even if it's hard. Then the child, what did happen lately with you that you enjoyed? I died many times in my game. Then I got mad. I asked some friends to join me online. I hunted down the other person online and I killed it multiple times. And after he died, I killed him 10 more times. It was overkill. And I asked him, okay, so what does this tell you about yourself? Then I can be very mad. Okay, what else? Then I can ask for help. And I asked him, this was my suggestion actually, that you can do extra work also. You are able to do extra work in order to achieve your goals. Yes, I can because I killed that soldier once, then I killed it 10 more times when I was there in the game in the same time. So it was overkill. It was aggression, but I transform it in something solution focused. So, the principle, what is telling about yourself, these are the principles of that family. And the first one was uh, even if there is no easy way out, I can still uh, do it, even if I have to work extra. So this is why it was very important to make this with the whole family because they can discover uh, their own principles. Every family should have a own principle, in order to help them in cases of, for example, not getting in trouble. If the child has strong roots, strong principles, he knows where I am belonging, what are my principles, and even if he's alone, he can uh, follow those principles. Then every parent or teacher should stay more calmly. For example, I lost a lot of friends because they said to me, because I'm not drinking alcohol, and they said, "Okay, Miklós, if you don't drink one glass of wine, we are not friends anymore." And I said, "Okay." I didn't get mad because if friendship is about one depends on one glass of wine, I don't want it. And I was bullied in the school because I was different, but I still wanted to do it my way, like a samurai did. I was saving, for example, cats. They were blowing them up with fireworks. I don't know, this was a crazy hobby of my classmates. And every time I saved a cat or a dog, I was bullied. But it doesn't matter because it was important for me to not to harm people, but to help. This is about Bushido. This is taught in Bushido, the code of samurai warriors, to help each other, not kill each other. So we do not leave men behind. This is a legacy I leave behind in that school, which it doesn't exist anymore because of this. It was no need of keeping that school anymore because all the students were integrated in the public school, and none of them became a drug dealer. So they needed some principles in order to, because their parents, we couldn't work with them if they had, because sometimes the mother was a prostitute, the father was a pedophile, and the child protective services, they take it away from them. So, and about the last one, that everything is a solution, I added this since I'm using solution focused methods, because I realized that everything is a solution. For example, if the parents telling me that I'm very mad, I cannot find any solution of this problem, I usually tell them, uh, look around you and choose one object, no matter what. Then uh, look at that object and think about a solution it's providing for you. And once came a very upset mother that, okay, I did as you told me and I didn't find any solution. And what did happen? I calmed down. Okay, it's very good because until I'm looking for a solution, she calmed down. But after a discussion, she realized that the tip of the pen wasn't open. And that means she realized that her child needs more breaks between lessons because they had a lot of homeworks and they were arguing about this. And the pen showed her the solution. Let the child rest more between lessons. Then after few weeks, they had no more problems. They only had their own uh, things to do, hugging each other, for example. Or uh, yes, and the other, do you have questions maybe? Or yes, I should send it to you while we were thinking about questions maybe. So this is the first one about my work in the school, about how that motto of US Navy SEALs that we do not leave men behind changed their lives. And most of them were from ghettos, from gangs. And one of them told me that his goal was to become drug dealer because if in order to become drug dealer, he had to rob a lot of people, to break in a lot of places. And when he reached a level, then he was allowed to sell drugs also. And there were the money. So it was shocking for me that they had no future views, only to become drug dealers, for example. So, and also the picture, yes, also the picture. Do you have questions or something to add? until I find the picture.
There's a question in the chat, Miklós, from Simona, um, which is, how come you became homeless and how did you get out of it?
Yes, I told the second reason. The first reason was because I was working with children. Even if I wasn't teaching anymore, I promised them that I will not leave them until they are not ready to take care of each other in the school and outside of the school. And I was also working with teenagers who were um, raped by their father. And they refused to take medications. They refused to go to psychologists because they didn't trust him. I know him, so it's no wonder they didn't trust him. Uh, and I was the only person who were talking about. And if I go home, they would I would abandon them. And they say that a good student never abandons his teacher, and the same for the teacher, never abandons his students. So I choose to not leave men behind, even if this means that I have to stay on streets, I have to eat from garbage, I have nowhere to go in winter, because I was ashamed that I am a man. After hearing so many stories how their father raped them many times, I was ashamed that I am a man. And I told myself that I won't let myself be the next man who, um, how do you say, to leave them, who leaves them, disappoints them. This is the word, who disappoints them. And they needed me in order to, they were not ready for me to leave. So this is also part of my uh, principles. I do not leave men behind, no matter what. So this is the reason I stood. And after it came another more dangerous difficulties, and also being curious, I also did some more good things on the streets. But this is very long story. I also was captive, some criminal organization. They kept me captive for several months after we escaped with five prostitutes. They were exploding. So I also used with them the five questions. What are we? We are very good persons. And if one of the prostitutes, she remembered her real name, because after so many beatings and torture, they made her forget her own name. They burned their IDs and everything. So this was a very good accomplishment by being curious about themselves. Who are you in reality? She started after 3 months to remember her name, her real name. So, but these are longer stories.
Um, and there's another question from Chris. Chris, do you want to unmute yourself and
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd probably be easier just to talk, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm confused. I don't understand why that meant you had to be homeless. In order to not leave them behind, you had to be homeless. I don't understand.
Because if I leave home, which was 400 kilometers from there, I uh, I wouldn't be able to finish my college, and I would disappoint my students. And
So you
by
needed to
living
live
by
near
my
them.
own principles, I couldn't afford this.
Right. I
So
see.
even if somebody didn't agree with me or is foolish, why did you go home to
Right.
your mother? It's logical. But having principles and having discipline, no
Mm.
matter what, you following your principles. Without this, I would be another disappointment for my students.
Yeah, I see. So you're saying you needed to live in the same town as the students?
Yes,
Yeah, and you couldn't afford to live there, so the only way you could do that was, yeah, I see.
yes.
Right. Yeah. Hmm. Thanks.
So, I managed to find out how to send this to you. Uh, so, do you have? We have little time left. So, what could you use from these principles, even one in your life, starting tomorrow, for example? Which one is that made you thinking something or?
I'll jump in, Miklós. It was an interesting chat, thank you, because I'm ex-military, ex-mobile and ex-air assault. And yeah, it was interesting. I spent a couple of weeks training with Stephen Gilligan, Dr. Stephen Gilligan of Ericksonian, kind of the Ericksonian family. And he's taken Ericsson's work and developed it with Bushido as well, because Gilligan used to be, Dr. Gilligan used to be or is a downgrade in Aikido. So yeah, just putting out there, there's some synergies between, I guess, what you're doing with SF and what Dr. Gilligan's doing with Ericksonian work. So you might be interested to check out. But yeah, I guess it's an easy one for me because obviously I'm ex-army, and as you've already said, in airborne forces and Navy SEALs, etc. One of the biggest things is don't leave anybody behind. Doesn't really. I've got to be honest. Doesn't there's a lot more perhaps honour and togetherness in SF. I don't see much of it in civilian life. Interestingly, and I know it's quite a big thing to put out there. You can be in very physical, direct conflict with your fellow soldiers in the army, but when you go on active service on operations, you're all looking after each other and watching each other's backs because you have to work as a team, because that's sometimes the only way you're going to get yourself out of the hellish situation that you've volunteered for and your government's put you in. I got to be honest, I've probably been out in the army now for about 30 years. Haven't found a part of civilian life where unfortunately that directly translates. But yeah, I guess to put it out there, funnily enough, everything you've said with regards to the principles of Bushido, because I used to study Aikido and obviously been in the army and life in general and the way I work as a therapist is kind of aligned with that. But yeah, it very interesting what you said. I just don't really, unfortunately see much of that military team ethos in civilian life because perhaps because we don't have to, as a team, fight through hellish situations to get out the other side. There's perhaps always another job or another career or another home or another country we can go and live in. Whereas kind of in the military, you're obviously kind of forced. You can't just walk out of the situation. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, this is why every family needs some principles and write it down and find it. The circle technique, I added the third circle when we add how I'm going to use these principles and making scenarios, or maybe starting with the present difficulties from the present of the families. How can you use these principles that are important for you and the whole family? How can you use this to improve your life in your family? And the circle technique takes about one session, but for this kind of circle technique I am doing, usually I need weeks or months, even months,
Right.
for each family to help them develop their own principles in order to know how to overcome obstacles in the future also after they get rid of me.
Okay,
So,
thank you. Yeah, I'll check that out online. Appreciate that. Thanks, Miklós.
yes, and I shared some recordings with you, and you can watch there my work. How did I use it in with children with disabilities also, and even children. They were very that they asked me to teach them because they found out that I used to teach in the army, self-defense also. So when the students find out, they were telling me to teach them like how is it to be in the army, you know, and they wanted to be soldiers. So I trained them like soldiers, and we do not leave men behind. And the only easy way day was yesterday. And even if they didn't understand, I gave them some principles and the same method they are using the drug dealers. They are giving children some principles and they're convincing them that this is the right one. So go and sell drugs, for example.
That's been wonderful, Miklós. Thank you very much. Miklós asked me if I could do a group shot at the end of this. So if you can unmute your camera and you're happy to be in a group shot, please do. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If we can all look at the camera now, I'm going to try and do the shortcut one first. So a smile. And I'll take another one. And then there's an app here for a group shot. So this one is going to ask your permission. And if it says allow, it's going to take your photograph. So hover your mouse over the allow and then smile at the camera before you click on allow. Because when Miklós and I played with this earlier, we took some horrible photographs because we didn't realize that's what we had to do. Okay?
Okay.
So if you're all set, I will send this out. And so it happens individually. Take your photo individually and then you'll appear and that will save one for, and you can always retake. If you're not happy with what's there, you can hit retake. Okay? Okay, is everybody done? Who's going to do? Okay.
Where did the photo go, Andrew? I just took a photo.
Okay,
It's got
thank
a
you
flash
for
on
the
it.
photo.
Okay, so we'll just do create group photo. And there we go. We have a group photo, which I can share with all participants. There we go. Okay, I think, hopefully, we've got that. And thank you very much for that, everybody. And thank you, Miklós.
Yeah, do you have other questions or maybe something to add before we finish?
I would quite like to say Steve DeShazy used to actually cite kind of ancient Eastern philosophy and stuff like that as being an influence in the development of the approach. And it's for me, I'm a big fan of thinking of solution focus as a way of being with another person or a group of people. And I would say, what we kind of think of the SF stance and what's expressed in those principles that you showed us a slide of, they do match up very well. It's really interesting. It's really just interesting to see that. Yeah.
That's because older students of mine were grown-ups were always telling me that master, you shouldn't teach here. You should teach in Japan or China somewhere because what you teach is no more needed here. And it was very strange hearing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably needed more here in that case, isn't it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. So this why
Yeah, good. Brilliant.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
So someone else wants to add something or
Thank you, Miklós. I think we've got 3 minutes until the
closing, yes.
till we go to the closing ceremony. So the links on the Padlet, or I'm popping it in the chat now, and I will also
Okay, thank you.
and thank you very much, Miklós.